Good evening, fellow traders and my fellow subscribers. Thank you so much for your continued support. And today's weekly analysis, we begin with the dollar index. And like we had seen in the previous month, the previous weekend, that is on Wednesday actually, we had identified this area that you see probably in the daily time frame. This was a demand, a supply area. And we can see the price reached this area, reacted to the downwards, came again. There was this sell-off. Actually, we had the first sell-off here. So this being the first sell-off that actually gave around 157, around 157 pips. Then we had this area that we had identified within the same area. The market came back to this region. The market came back to this region, like we had identified in the Wednesday's midweek's market snippets. And the price is trying to actually go through this area. So there are chances that the price might break through this area, probably to come to test these what we have the daily supply zone, the weekly supply zone. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you can see from the daily time frame the price is forming. We have an inverse head and shoulder. Okay, we have an inverse head and shoulder. And we know that an inverse head and shoulder is for bullishness. So the reason why we might anticipate the price probably to come and retest this weekly supply zone. And then probably we might see a sell-off on the downside. Okay, once it reaches the supply zone, the daily supply zone, we want to see how the price reacts from that region, and probably maybe on the downside. And if it maintains bullishness, we want to see maybe a slight reaction on the downside, and then the price will continue to go up. Okay, the price will continue to go up because from the daily time frame, we can still say that the trend is a downtrend. Okay, we are still in a downtrend because this was the previous high that the price created. Okay, and then we have the previous low that the price created before the downtrend, before this up movement. Okay? So until we have a break of structure or change of character, until we have a change of character that the price needs to break above this region for us to have a change of character, so that now we can focus on bullishness and not bearishness. Okay, so that's what we have on the daily. In the 4-hour time frame, let's see what we have in the 4-hour time frame. And basically what we have in the 4-hour time frame is let's wait for the chart to load. So from the 4-hour time frame, basically we can see these are the major highs and major lows that we had identified from the daily time frame. And we can see that in the daily time frame, in the 4-hour time frame, the price is trading within the internal structure between this major high and this major low. But we have a BOS at this level. We have a BOS at this level. So we can say from the 4-hour time frame, the price is trying to create higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so it's turning to be bullishness. Okay, it's turning to be bullishness. So until all the time frames aligns, like the daily, the 4-hour, and then probably the 1 hour. So from the 1 hour, it's already bullishness. Okay, we can see some form of bullishness. So here we had the break of structure, that level, okay, BOS. And we can see we have the price is respecting this trend line. Okay, we have a very nice trend line at that level. Okay, so the price is trying to break through this trend line. So there was the breakout on the downtrend. Probably maybe the price is retesting. This was the retest. And remember here we had the NFP. So we want to see if the price goes above this region, then it continues in the bullishness. If it rejects from this region, then we want to see bearishness, continuation of the bearishness. Okay, but remember again, like I said, on the daily time frame, we have a supply zone, and the price is forming an inverse head and shoulder. And the reason why we might anticipate the price to go all the way to maybe probably to this daily supply level, okay, this daily supply area, okay, the weekly supply area. We might anticipate the price to go to this weekly supply area. Goes from the daily time frame. Like I said, we have an inverse head and shoulder, okay. So we look at gold. That is our next pair that we want to look at, okay. That is gold. So with gold, so allow me to delete this so that you can be able to appreciate the price action. So with gold, what we had yesterday, basically what we had on Friday, this was due to the NFP. The data was positive for the dollar. And the reason why we saw gold sell-off in gold. And so like we had analyzed in our Wednesday midweek market snippets, we tried to look at the NFP, the data that we had. So, and we said that if the data is positive, okay, we said that if the data comes out positive, then we shall be looking to sell any currency that has USD as the quote currency, because USD was going to strengthen. So like we can see here, it was positive. Average hourly earnings increased from, it was more than the forecast, so 0.4%, meaning it's positive for the dollar. The non-farm increased from 184 to, the non-farm increased from 150 to 199K. So it was greater than the forecast, again signifying positive news or positive data for the dollar. And also the unemployment rate was less than the forecast, okay? So this also showed a positive data for the USD. And the reason why we add the selling pressure, okay? The reason why we add the selling pressure for dollar, for gold. We also had the selling pressure for GBP USD, Euro USD, anything that had the dollar as the quote currency. And anything that had the dollar as the base currency, it was a buy, okay? So the reason why we can see this buying, and so from the level where the price is at the moment, we can see, we can identify, we have this region, we have that region. So the price is trying to bounce off from this area, but again, we want to see how the price reacts from that particular level, okay? We want to see how the price reacts from that particular level, because again, at this level, we have daily supply zone where the price reached this daily supply zone. And now the reason you can see there was a sell-off here, there was a retracement back this region, and now the NFP data dropped gold all the way to this particular region. So on the daily time frame, if this area is not respected, because again it's a very key area of resistance. This side it was resistant, this side is support. It was broken, so it's support. So if the price is unable to hold in that area, then we anticipate the next level we want to see gold. It's around 1977. Okay, we might want to see gold around 1977 area. That's the level. Then you might want to see gold. If this area does not hold, then we might want to see the price come all the way to around 1955, and then finally to 1928. Okay, that is on the downside. So on the upside, if this level of support holds, then we might want to see the price come all the way to this area. We have a supply area. We have that supply area between 2023 to 2039. And then we might see another rejection, maybe probably to this support. before we see an uptrend. Okay, so if the price is unable to hold this supply area, then we might anticipate on the upside, maybe probably 2074. We might want to see around 2072, and then we might want to see maybe these highs taken out. Might want to see these highs taken out. But right now we can say probably according to the structure, we can say we are more of bearish with gold. So the reason why my odds on my my bias is more on the bearish movement. Okay, my bias is more on the bearish movement because you can see. Let me delete this so that you can be able to see the price clearly. Because you can see, I believe you'll mark this level. Okay, because they are very important. Because you can see from the higher time frame. Okay, from the daily time frame. This was the previous low that the price created at this level. Okay, so this let me get this was the previous low that the price created before creating an all-time high. Okay, before creating an all-time high. So and now the price came. There was this BOS. Let me delete this level. Allow me to delete this so that you can see clearly. So we had a change in structure. So this was the breakout. Okay, this was the breakout candle, and the market came back to retest within this region, and you can see the price has been struggling go above that region. Okay, so from the 4-hour time frame, let's see what we have from the 4-hour time frame. Like I had hinted, from the 4-hour time frame, we had a head and shoulder. So this was very hidden. Okay, it was somehow hidden, but it was a head and shoulder. Okay, it was a head and shoulder. So we had that, then the upward movement. Okay, then we had this downward movement. Okay, that downward movement, and then we had that. Then we add that. So it's a head and shoulder, though it's not quite clear. But you could have seen it's more of a head and shoulder. So from the 4-hour time frame, again at this level, there was the change in structure. Okay, this the level where we had the change in structure, and it's a key level again in terms of support. Because this side it was support, then it was broken. So this side now it's acting as resistant. Okay, it's acting as resistant. So from where we are at the moment, that is from the 4-hour time frame, we can say that the price also reacted to this key level. Here we have a level, we have this, let me expand the price so that you can see clearly. We have this area, which is more of an area of support. Okay, so it's acting as an area of support, and the price bounced off from that, and then we have from the uptrend, we have on the upside, we have again this key level. Here we have a level around that region, and we might see the price come all the way maybe around that level, this area, and then maybe probably we see a downtrend. And if the price comes back to this area, then we might want to see a drop maybe to around to take these liquidities. We have some liquidities. The first level is actually at that area, 1983. Then we have liquidities around 1965. And then we might also want to see maybe probably the price come all the way to 1955 as well to take those liquidities. But remember here we have a demand area, okay? We have a demand zone on the 4-hour time frame. So the price might react at this level. Maybe once the price reaches here, then we might want to anticipate maybe an upward movement. Okay, we might want to anticipate an upward movement. If this level of demand is not sustainable, then we might see the price of gold come all the way to around 1938 and probably to around 1928, okay, to around 1928, so as maybe to complete this model, because you can see whatever is happening this side, it's a replication of what is happening here. So it might continue with this model. Remember, I talked about this model. I'd explained it sometimes back how this, once you see this type of model forming, then the price will always keep replicating itself. Okay, it keeps replicating itself. So it's like if you take um, a vertical line at this level. Okay, so this was the center of everything. So whatever happened in this direction might be a replication of what happens in this direction. Okay, so the price might continue all the way to around 1928. That is, if the bearish momentum is sustained. Okay, so as to complete that model. But if bullishness is, if the price continues on the upside and breaks through this area of resistance, then the next level we might be anticipating to see the price is around the 2029 levels. And if again this level of resistance here is broken, then we might anticipate to see the price go all the way to around 19 around 20 this level 2073 2087. Okay, that is on the upside. But like I said, my bias is on the bearishness. Okay, my bias is on the bearishness. Not unless now the trend changes, we have a break of structure, and now we shall be looking for bullishness. Okay, so the other pair that we need to look at is Euro USD. We have Euro USD. So with the Euro USD, basically, so we have a setup at this region. Let me delete this. Okay. Let me delete all this. Actually, let me delete all that. So so that we can look. We begin from the weekly time frame. What we have. So from the weekly time frame, we have the price reacting from this weekly demand. Okay, we have a weekly demand level. The price dropped actually from the due to NFP, and the price came to this area, and you can see now the price is reacting from this level. Okay, so if the price is going to respect that bullishness, probably we might anticipate the price to come all the way to this level. Okay, come all the way to this level. That is a risk to reward ratio of 1:3, risk to reward ratio of 1:3. But we want to see probably how the market opens. That is midnight today. But before reaching here again, you can be able to appreciate that we have a very critical zone. Okay, this is a very critical zone. So we might want to see how the price reacts at this level. It might reach at this level and then go on the, probably on the bearish movement. Okay, on the bearish movement. But again, this, we can see here, the price is trying to form higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so the price is trying to change trend at this level, the higher highs and higher lows. So from the daily time frame, let's see what we have from the daily time frame. So from the daily time frame, we can see probably we have this area. Sorry about that. We have this key level. This was the previous low. Okay, this was the previous low that the price made, and this was the previous or major high that the price made before now resuming this uptrend direction. Okay, so we had this trend line. Okay, we had that trend line. So we might see also, I remember it was actually a channel. It was a channel at that level. We had that was a channel. So we can draw that channel. That what we had from the previous. So it was a channel. So we can see the price is back to this channel, right? There was the breakout, and the price now comes back to this channel. And the price had to reach here because we saw that we had a weekly demand zone. We had a weekly demand zone. So this was an uptrend. It was an uptrend. And actually, from the 4-hour time, from the daily time frame, we can see that now the trend is changing. So because again, this was the major high that the price created, and then we have this major low that the price had created that led to this major high. Okay, so what we have now is this level. We had what we call the break of structure or the change of character. We had the change of character, whereby now we are looking, no longer looking on the upside, but we are looking on bearishness. Okay, we are looking on the bearishness. And the reason why now this level might not hold as much, okay, the reason why this level we had seen from the weekly time frame might not hold. Maybe probably it can be a reaction area whereby the price might react and give us like maybe 100 pips. That is because this is on higher time frame. Because when you measure from the target there, it's around around 285 pips. Okay, so the price can react at this level. So far, so good. It's around 25 pips. So we might just see a reaction, maybe coming to this neckline, to retest this neckline. Okay, might come, it might be a reaction, come, retest this neckline, and then we see the downward continuation. Okay, we might see the downward continuation. And so let me delete that. Then we look from the 4-hour time frame, and from the 4-hour time frame, we can see that it's bearish. Okay, it's bearish. So we have already in the bearish, the price is making lower lows and lower highs. So it's bearish, and this area is very critical as well. So the price can push all the way maybe on the downside to this level, whereby we have another area of demand. Okay, we have an area of demand around that region, and also we have this another area of demand here. But this demand, it was tested actually at this level. So it's already a tested area at that level. So the reason why I would want maybe probably to look at this demand level that is untested. Okay, this is a fresh demand area. So we might see the price push up. Then we see the downward movement, like I said. And if the price is able to reach here, we might see a reaction. And probably this might also be a reaction point. Okay, it might be a reaction point. Then the price comes back to retest this trend line, the lower trend line, and we continue seeing the bearishness or the bearish move. Okay, so from the 4-hour time frame, if these levels do not hold, then we anticipate to see the price take out these liquidities. You can see we have some liquidities resting here around 1.06596. Then if that does not hold again, we want to see the price come to around 1.06099. Then the next level we might anticipate the price to reach is around that level. And then we have another key level. Okay, we have another key level at around 1.05161. Okay, so ensure to mark the price accordingly, and we take what the price gives us. So we have GBP USD as the last pair before we look at the fundamental. And GBP USD, can see because of the news, this area did not hold. Okay, we had this buy setup here that did not hold because this was the news momentum. So let's delete this and look at it beginning from the weekly time frame. Okay, from the weekly time frame. So this is what we have from the weekly time frame. we have this demand level. Okay, we have that demand level untested. So we might see the price probably come down here, and then we see a reaction on the upside. But what I can say is this, what we can be able to see actually, not what I can say, but here we can see this was the previous low. Okay, this was the previous low that the price created at that level, which led to this high level at that region. Okay, so once you have this, you can be able to mark them, these lows and these major highs. So what the price did now is trading externally. Okay, it's trading externally because it's moved out of this region. So we can say here there is what we call a break. There is a break. There was a break of or change of character. We had a change of character at that level. Okay, so let me delete this so that you can be able to see clearly. So this is where we had the change of character. Okay, this is where we had the change of character, and the price is coming back to this area, which is again becomes a very key level. And this now we have the price because of the NFP on Friday. The price pushed downwards again, it pushed downwards, but this is the weekly candle. So from that weekly candle, we can say that here we have, or the price created what we call a supply area, okay? And since we are now on the downtrend, since the trend is a downtrend, we can say that now probably the price might come back once the price opens on to the midnight. We might see the price coming back to this area, and then before selling to this weekly demand level. Okay, so the weekly demand level becomes the first target, which is actually it becomes the first target. So then we have the daily. We go to the daily. We see what the price is doing from the daily time frame. So from the daily time frame, the price also respected this level around that region. That is, the price is trying to reach here and bounced and traded up again. But we can be able to see a level. Okay, we can be able to see another supply area around this region. So higher chances that the price might come up to this supply area in the weekly time frame, and then we see the downward movement. Okay, we see the downward movement. So from the daily time frame, my bias is still probably on the downside. Okay, so on the downside, we'll be looking maybe at that level. Then we'll be looking at this another area that we have there. So ensure you mark them accordingly, and then we look around that level. Okay, but remember, these demand areas on the daily time frame might actually be like reaction points, maybe probably 50 pips, 75 pips before now the price resuming on this other flow. Remember, already in the weekly time frame, we have confirmed a change of structure. So on the daily time frame, we are waiting because this is the previous high. Okay, so this is the highest point that the price reached, and then we have the lowest point. So this is the lowest point that led to this up point here. So if the price is able to break through this area, then we shall confirm a change of structure from the daily time frame, and then we see the price continue its downtrend. So ensure you mark those levels. On the uptrend, if the uptrend is sustained, then the first area that we might want to see the price, that is if the price does not respect this weekly supply area. So if it's breached, then we want to see the price come to around break through this level, that is 1.2734. And then the next level that we shall be looking at is we have 1.2798, and then we shall be waiting for the price to this area. Okay, we have a supply area. on the daily that is not tested yet. So we shall be looking for the price to reach these levels. Okay. So in the 4-hour time frame, we can confirm a break of structure. That is BOS. This was the previous low and the high here. So the price changed. There was a change of structure at this level. Okay, there was a change of structure at this area, and now the price is creating lower lows and lower highs. So we see what the price gives us. Remember, we said we have this level. This is an entire level from this line. From this line to this line, we have an entire level of demand, so of supply. So we want to see how the price reacts in this area. So we might anticipate the price to reach this area, and then we see probably give some weeks to this level, and then we see the downtrend continuation. Okay, we see the downtrend continuation. So remember, we said with this analysis, basically, we do top-down analysis so as to help us identify the trend. And once we identify the trend, now we can be able to narrow down even to the lower time frame so that we can be able to get our entries from the lower time frame. Okay, so probably the 15 minutes time frame can give us a very nice entries. So we want to look at the 15 minutes time frame. And this is whereby we want now to take our entries from that area. Okay, we want to take our entries from the 15 minutes time frame, or maybe 30 minutes time frame. Okay, so that said, we look at what we have fundamentally this week, and tomorrow we have no news. So tomorrow it's Monday, December 11th. We don't have any high impact news. So on Tuesday, we shall be having this speech by RBA Governor Bullock, that is Australian central bank governor. Then we have GBP claimant count change. Okay, so we have CPI on Tuesday. We have CPI at 4:30. So let me concentrate this CPI because I basically love trading majors or gold. If I'm not trading gold, you'll find me trading maybe eurusd or GBP USD. So from this, we anticipate core CPI to increase from 0.2 to 0.3. So this is basically an increase in CPI. So if we have an increase in CPI, then we anticipate that the currency will gain strength because the central bank will tend to increase interest rates in order to try and reduce inflation. Okay, so if there is an increment like it's forecasted here, then this will be positive news for the dollar. The CPI-MM, they are projecting to remain constant, 0.00. So if it goes maybe 0.01, then again, it's positive. The dollar is strengthened. The dollar is strengthened with anticipation of hiking interest rates, okay, so as to try and maintain inflation. Then CPI year after year, the previous was 3.2. They're projecting a decrease to 3.1. So if there is a decrease, then we anticipate the dollar to weaken. Okay, we anticipate the dollar to weaken. So if it happens like it's projected here, then we might have mixed data. Okay, we might have mixed data. But if CPI YY increases maybe to 3 point, let's say to 3.3, we have a positive. Okay. So if all these increase, we shall have a positive data. That is, the USD will gain strength. If all these decreases from the forecast, then we shall have negative news. That is, the USD will weaken. Okay. So from this, you can be able to interpret when the base currency is stronger than the quote currency, we buy, and when the quote currency is stronger than the base currency, we sell. Okay. So we await to see, and probably maybe you can have mixed data like they are projecting here. This is kind of a mixed data. Okay. So I know that I need to do a very comprehensive video in terms of trading news, trading these fundamentals, which I promise to do amid my busy schedule, so as to try and give you some value. But those that have been following my live webinars, I always discuss these things, so at least you have some gist. But for the rest that have not been following my webinars, with Scope Markets Kenya, then I will do a comprehensive video for you so that you can be able to look to equip yourself with the knowledge on how to trade the news. Okay, so on Wednesday we have the FOMC. Okay, very volatile news as well. So at 4:30 we shall be having the core PPI. Again, this is inflation. PPI is for inflation, inflation data. So they are anticipating an increase. Okay, so this is an increase from 0.0, that is the core PPI 0.0 to 0.2. That's an increase, meaning that the dollar might gain strength. Then we have an increase for PPI from negative 0.5 to 0.1, again, meaning that the dollar might increase in strength. Okay, so this means that anything that has USD as good currency, we might be selling if this news comes as forecasted. Okay, so then on 10 p.m. same day, we have what we call the FOMC interest rates. Okay, the FOMC. So they are projecting FOMC to remain constant. Okay, so if in any case we have the actuals and we have an increment with interest rates, then if we have an increment with interest rate, it means that the dollar is going to strengthen. But if we have a decrease, it means that the dollar is going to weaken. Okay, so we wait and see probably what we have. Remember the FOMC committee, that is this committee, the FOMC, the Federal Reserve actually had hinted that they might have one more interest hike before the year ends, and maybe probably it might be this time December. So we want to see probably how this goes. Okay, we want to see how this goes, and we trade based on the actual. Okay, remember we trade the fundamentals based on the actuals. Then we have this other news, the employment change and unemployment rate for AUD, okay, that is the Australian dollar. So they are projecting a decrease in employment change, meaning that it will weaken AUD. They're also expecting a negative data for unemployment. That is the rate of unemployment will increase, okay? So meaning that if it comes out as projected, this is basically going to be negative data for AUD. So AUD is going to lose strength. So it's going to weaken. So if we have maybe AUD USD, you can be looking now to sell AUD USD. If you have maybe anything that has AUD as base currency, we shall be looking to sell. Anything that has AUD as good currency, then we look to buy. Okay. Then we have this other news. I'm concerned basically with the retail sales. Okay, with the retail sales on Thursday, core retail sales on Thursday, which they are projecting to remain the same. So they are projecting to remain the same. But if there is an increase, then it means this will be, if there is an increase. Actually, here we have the first one is from 0.1. That is the core retail sales, 0.1% to negative 0.1, meaning this is a decrease, okay? Negative data for USD. So the USD is going to weaken if it comes as projected, okay? Then we have retail sales So this one, they are projecting to be constant, okay? They're projecting it to be constant. But if there is a decrease, again, it becomes negative news for USD. So remember, with the news, we wait for the actuals, okay? So that we can know whether the news will be positive or it will be negative for the currency. But we said when we have some two types of three, actually more than two news, because we shall be having at 4:30, that is on Thursday 14th, we have three types of news. We have the core retail sales, the retail sales report, and we have the unemployment claim. Okay, so unemployment claim, they are projecting an increase. So if there is an increase in unemployment claim, this becomes again negative for the dollar. Okay, it becomes negative for the dollar. So we shall be waiting for the actual. So all can be negative, all can be positive, all we can have some negative, some positive. That means mixed data. Okay, that means mixed data. So then we shall be having the PMI, that is for the USD on Friday. The PMI we shall be having, actually on Friday, it's all about the PMIs, Euro, GBP, and then we shall have USD PMI, okay? So like I've always said, when trading news, it's good to wait for the actual so that you can be able to determine whether this news is going to strengthen or it's going to weaken the dollar, okay? Or the currency, whichever currency that the news represent, maybe the GBP here. We have the AUD this day. So it's really a week that is packed full of fundamentals, and you want to take advantage of these fundamentals in order to try and make some few dollars for yourself this Christmas. It's very important. Okay. So having said that, let me stop at that so that I don't give you a lot of information that might tend to confuse you. Let me try to make it as short as I can. So all I wish you is a very fruitful week, a very profitable week ahead. Ensure you practice proper risk management. I cannot overemphasize on this. Remember, risk management is the surest strategy in Forex trading, okay? So always ensure that the trades that you take, you ensure you practice proper risk management. That being said, thank you so much, and may you have a very profitable week ahead.